less lethal contingencies. Alan here. So today we are going to be shooting the Umarex TR50 with the tuning barrel and the additional 8-inch sniper barrel and an additional 4-inch tuning barrel extension at the end of that 8-inch sniper barrel. All right, we'll be shooting 12.7 millimeter, 8.4 gram steel ball bearings. We'll be shooting 3 magazines, 6 rounds each, for a total of 18 steel ball bearings. We'll see if we can get that off a tank of 1100 psi HPA. And we'll be doing it through some additional expansion. We'll be testing out the use of the car stock for expansion with the 1100 psi output HPA tank screwed in the bottom, and we'll see what numbers we get with that with the additional expansion. The handle CO2 area where you would normally have a 12 gram, that restrictor has been totally drilled out, so it's no longer capable of using CO2 there, at least not functional anyways. But it does provide an additional expansion chamber using that former 12 gram chamber there. Okay, so the quick puncture and degasser is still being used. This is how we'll degas the gun. Also with these from Umarex, you do have to make sure that you do have them locked on. Otherwise, you'll have a leak there. When you're running HPA through the back, it'll just leak out that. So we'll do that. I'm gonna unload this magazine I have in here so that we can air it up unloaded, and we'll check it for leaks. If everything works good, no leaks, we will proceed to see what we get for some feet per second out of this. Hopefully it will work leak-free. So let's start by, we have a simple on and off here. There's no degas functionality in this. Just basically screw it down, depresses the pin in the bottle, and you're good to go off to the races. And then when you want to turn it off, you spin it forward, and it takes pressure off the pin and shuts off the bottle. Degassing will be done through the standard Umarex quick puncture degasser. And again, we have a total of 16-inch barrel here, between the 4 inches there and about of the tuning barrel internally, the additional 8 for the sniper barrel extension, and then the addition of another 4 inches, so about a total of 16, probably more like 16 and a half, but we'll call it 16 inches of barrel. And yeah, so let's air this thing up and see if we can get that far. So this is pumped to capacity, pretty much 3,000 capacity tank. Okay, so we're starting at just a little, I mean, according to the compressor, it's got 3,000 psi in here. According to this gauge, it's just a little bit under, so, but we're going to call it 3,000 psi capacity. We'll spin this animal in, and we'll see what we get on this. I wanted to test this stock as well, because when I take it to the range, this TR50 by Umarex, when I take it to the range to do some accuracy testing with the steel ball bearings, I'm probably going to end up tethering it to my 800 psi 48 CI tank, my larger tank, like I did with the Pistelli X68 when I went to the range. I'll tether it to that. So I want to test this out. I should probably test it on with my 800 psi bottle as well, but which I will do. But let me start off with the 1100 psi. I want to see what we're going to get for feet per second at the max psi I have available to it. So we'll give that a try first, and then maybe we'll move to the 800 bottle, or maybe we won't. So let's see what we get. See if we can get past airing up first. All right, we got the bottle screwed in tight. Oop. Looks good and tight. And then we'll take the on and off and screw it down. Okay, I heard the bolt close or activate. Yeah, it seems to be working okay. All right, we got air pressure. Not hearing any leaks where it goes into the rear ASA. Okay, air supply adapter. Not getting any leaks there. I think everything's good to go. Got the stock fully adjusted back. Let's see. I'll get the laser going here. All right, it feels pretty comfortable under the arm like that. Yeah, feels pretty comfortable. All right. All right, this one's not terribly loud, so I think I'm okay without air protection. So we'll see. If it makes a liar out of me, I'll stop, put some air protection in, but I think this one's all right. Let's go ahead and we will load. Oh, stay there. Make sure that barrel is still floating. Okay, so the magazine, cylinder magazine feels good. It feels normal the way it should feel. And this is where knowing your gun comes in handy, especially with these, because there needs to be some drag on this. All right, so it looks like we got the right amount of drag. We have 6 rounds of 12.7 millimeter steel ball bearings, and we're gonna shoot off 6 rounds right now. All right, so magazine 1, 1100 psi, and let's see what we get for feet per second. I'll just be calling out the feet per second. All right, shot 1. .474.3 feet per second. Okay, that sounded good. One thing I could hear is after the shot, I could hear the air from the tank start to preload the expansion in the car stock again. So you can definitely hear that. All right, now shot 1. Shot 2. 446 feet per second. Shot 3. 433.3 feet per second. Shot 4. 403.7 feet per second. Shot 5. 397.5 feet per second. And the last one, shot 6. 412.8 feet per second. Yeah, that sounded really good. I'm going to degas this. I think that's enough for now to get the readings that I wanted to get. I'm going to degas this, and I'm going to shoot the next magazine. I'm going to try with the 800, my soft 800 psi bottle. It's really more like 750 because that's what I'm going to be using at the range. Actually, I'll be using the bigger bottle that is running about 800. So I'm going to try that next. And let me degas through the handle. I got all 6 of those. Degas. Okay. Close that back up so I don't forget to do that after. Alrighty. So I feel like that was really powerful. I mean, I didn't get any auto fire, but I will say, and I do have that additional restriction on still in place on the front of the car stock. I didn't get any auto fire, but I want to say, I don't know if I picked up a slight note of a stutter at all. It's hard to say. Um, Very little restriction in here, so I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't get a little bit of a stutter. I mean, I'm running the factory spring, bolt spring on this Umarex TR50, so holy crap, man. Holy crap, we used a lot of freaking air. So we basically had 3,000 PSI, right? When I started off. 6 of those ball bearings, and I know they were coming out with vengeance. I'm sure the feet per second was pretty high. Yeah, we got like what, about 1,000. We used almost like 2,000 psi of capacity for that 6 rounds. All right. Yes, we did, didn't we? All right, let's put that down. Gonna have to pump that puppy back. All right. That was interesting. So it's definitely an air hog now that we have we already had the cylinder with where you normally put your 12 gram in the handle. We were already reusing that, repurposing that cylinder as expansion to begin with. But in addition to that, now we have all that expansion from the car stock. I think it's going to work out great. I mean, we'll see what the numbers show for power, but with those feet per second, as high as they were, I think, yeah, I think it's going to work out great. But it is an air hog. I will give you that. But that should not be too much of a problem once I'm tethered with this here. Of course, we ain't going to get the feet per second that we just did. This was 1,100. This is 800 PSI output. So we're going to test now my soft 800 tank. I'm going to test that now because that'll be a little more accurate to what I'm probably going to see when I do take this gun to the range as far as feet per second with this barrel set up. So again, we got on this 800 tank, which is really more like 750, it's showing, just about 3,000 PSI capacity. So it's pumped up. Let's go ahead and spin that on. Spin that on and we'll do a magazine. Everything worked out good though, no leaks or anything, so can't complain there. A little bit of a stutter, but I shouldn't be terribly surprised with this massive expansion that I have in here in addition to the handle. So let's make sure that that is locked so we don't have any leaks. And we're unloaded. We'll go ahead and air up this soft 750 800 tank. All right, a little bit of air came out the bolt for a second until it activated fully, but I'm not hearing anything now, so it looks like we're okay to go. No leaks. I put enough silicone lubricant in the handle chamber prior to starting this video. I put enough in there, so I feel pretty confident we're good for lubrication here. I can see it all over the gun actually, so I'm not gonna lubricate it any further. And matter of fact, I think I'll wipe up some of that mess. And we'll put another magazine of the 8.4 gram 12.7 millimeter steel ball bearings. It wasn't too loud. I mean, it was loud, but it wasn't crazy loud like the X68 or the Intrabuster Gen 2. So I think I'm fine. My ears aren't ringing, and that's my point with those other two guns. I just don't want my ears ringing. If your ears are ringing, that's an indication that you're gonna end up with some ear damage, some hearing loss if you keep doing that. So we'll turn the laser on. We got the ammunition in it. pointing safely down, range, and we are aired up. Okay, so let's see what we get on 750. I'm going to call this 750 PSI. We'll get, all right, barrel drag, it's still floating. It feels like there's got some decent drag on it. So, all right, we'll call out the feet per second. Let's see what we get at 750 PSI with the CAR stock expansion stock. Shot 1, 8.4 gram steel ball bearings. $328 feet per second, so quite a bit less to be expected. You know, the first 6 rounds I was shooting on 1100 PSI output for that tank, and this one's about 750. So, all right, shot number 2. 315.4 feet per second. Shot number 3. 326 feet per second. Shot number 4. 321.5 feet per second. Shot number 5. 327.4 feet per second. And the last one, shot number 6. 327.9 feet per second. All right. That's some good shooting. Good shooting. Yeah. All right. So that's the 750, 800. Yeah, 750. That's the 750 PSI. Going through the additional expansion of the CAR stock, expansion stock. And yeah, so we got some numbers to put up. All right, we got some numbers to publish for the 750 PSI with the CAR stock, running it through the TR50. And we got some numbers for the 1100 PSI, which is the max PSI I would ever run on this thing. And yeah, just like the 1100 tank, you know, there's a lot of capacity in here. You to fill this chamber, and then you're filling the chamber and the handle. You're using a lot of this here. I mean, these are both 13 CI tanks, so I mean, they're not monster tanks, but they're not the smallest tanks I have either. And we're sitting at, you know, about the same deal. We used about 2,000. You know, used 2/3 of the bottle. So we got about 1,000 PSI left, just like with the 1100 tank. Same thing. It was 1,000 PSI capacity left. So yeah, these things, this is definitely an air hog. If it wasn't already air hog, it's definitely an air hog now. But I know we definitely got an increase of feet per second, and probably joules as well, I'm sure. So, but I'll update the video with those numbers. So that is the Umarex TR50 with the Valken CAR stock. Yeah, worked out pretty good. And with the additional, you know, the 16-inch barrel. So we'll be taking this to the range pretty soon. We'll be plinking with this and doing some target practice with it. So anyways, hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Peace out.